Good evening and welcome to the Indy Voice Show, where artists can listen, learn, and grow with knowledge empowering success. And now, here is your host, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, Miss Wendy Hicks.
Hello, and welcome to the Indy Voice Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am so glad to be here and so glad that you're watching. I appreciate your continued support. So the Indy Voice Show is a resource for artists that are embarking on projects or that have completed a project and, trying to figure out what's next. We try to kind of fill that gap for you. We offer interviews. People share their experiences because sometimes we all know that when you realize that other people experience some of the same things that you experience, there's some empowerment in that and a little bit of motivation to kind of keep you going, knowing that you are not alone. We have, again, artists that come in and interview. We have promoters that come in, managers. Today, I have a guest co-host who is a publicist. Her name is, now I'm hoping I don't hack up her name, but her name is Ali Opuyo. And we met last month. We were doing a panel for elementary school for Black History Month, and we talked about, it was a panel of 8 women and a panel of 8 men. And the 8 women, we talked to the girls, the female. We had a female audience, and then the males went with the male group, and they asked us a series of questions, and we shared our experiences, and we shared some of the challenges that we faced growing up. Because growing up, especially when you're looking at 5th grade, it's very scary. You got bullying going on. You're confused about life. You don't know what to expect. There's a lot of anxiety in being, a kid, as we all know. So we shared our experiences. We shared our educational background. And what was really intriguing about this panel was that there was only one person out of all of us that their career was their passion. No, I don't want to say it that way. She is a journalist, and that's what she does. She's always wanted to do that, and that's her primary focus. But a lot of the other panelists, such as myself, we have our day jobs. My day career is in IT, but our passion is music, and we do things with music to kind of balance it out. So, and then other people had, nonprofits, and, they were working on educational programs, and we had physicists. One of the panelists was a physicist. So it was a very diverse group. And Ali sat next to me, and we exchanged information, and I invited her to come on the show. And she's due to be here, but we're going to keep the show moving. So one of the things that I also talk about weekly is my affiliation with the Indy Bible, which is a great resource for independent artists when you're looking for information on, like, if you're touring, if you want to know promoters in different areas, there is a wealth of articles that are very informative, and they're separated by subject area that kind of guide you or just give you information on different topics. So the topic that I chose for today for the Artist Quick Tip, and in honor of my guest, was, are you ready to hire a publicist? So I thought it would be appropriate to kind of go through the article and, gain some additional support or knowledge, firsthand insight on the day-to-day that Ali faces as a publicist. But again, she's not here, so we're just going to go through with the information. Again, hello, my Facebook Live family. I can see the names. I can't see the comments, so just bear with me. We'll try to get to you as the show progresses. So the article is by Diane Foy from Skylar Entertainment. And again, this was taken from the Indy Bible. And it begins, the intro is that, of course, there are many questions to ask before you contact a publicist or PR firm to determine, is a publicist what I need? Am I at the point in my career where I need a publicist? And of the publicist role, or they need to be able to present an interesting story in addition to in terms of promoting you, but they need to know what's special about you. What uniqueness do you bring that sets you apart from any other artists in your genre? Are you playing some of the questions that you ask? Are you playing live shows often? Are you drawing crowds? Are you building your fan base? Have you recorded a CD or EP that will be released to retail and online outlets? Do you have a professional website? A lot of these are basic kind of marketing things that you need to have in hand just to represent yourself alone, aside from, things that you need to present to a publicist. But these are things that you need to have in hand anyway if you're looking to take your career to the next level. It says, are you active on social media? The Facebook, do you have a Facebook page, Twitter, YouTube, etc.? Are you planning a regional or national tour? Have you done some publicity yourself in this area or in your local area? Do you have a professional bio? Do you have professional photographs? Have you had your music licensed to TV or film? And that seems to be a big thing now, too. We've had guests that have scored music for film. We've also had filmmakers. So, that's another big something to consider for indie artists that, not just want your music to be heard locally and on the radio, but you want to expand out. You want to try to monetize as much as you possibly can, and getting in film and TV is another way. So again, it says, is there another aspect of your life or career that is unique? One of the benefits of hiring a professional publicist is that you can get your music into the right hands and open doors that may have previously been closed. Publicists spend years building and maintaining their media and industry contact lists, and most importantly, their relationships and reputation with those contacts. So it's just it's kind of like a reinforcement. So the subtopic is, you are ready, now what? So what happens next? So now that you've decided that you're ready to hire a publicist to get you to the next level, can you afford to pay one? Now, it says in this article, and I'm sure that it varies, but it can be, so a professional publicist can charge as low as $1,000 to $1,500 or more per month. And they often require a deposit, a 3 to 6 month minimum deposit, which can be kind of steep. So this is serious business. You got to really know the direction and path that you're trying to go in, and kind of be assured that this person can indeed help take you to that next level. And then it says something interesting here about, you've already probably spent a lot of money in terms of equipment, in terms of your recording, getting your project ready and out. So again, it's all based on how serious you are about your career in music, that you must think of marketing and promotion as necessities as well. So, don't take it lightly. And it also says that, there are, and it just varies from person to person, but sometimes, publicists are willing to work with you. They may be a pay-as-you-go kind of thing, or it just depends on who you choose to work with. The good thing or the best thing is, again, if you're not looking to tour right now, the publicist can help you concentrate on, the short-term goal, whatever it is you're trying to do. Short-term, not necessarily. Maybe you want to appear on TV or your local news channel to kind of get people to know who you are. You have to think about your budget before contacting a publicist to at least have a range in mind of what is possible so that you can negotiate. Be honest about your budget. If you know you can only manage $2,000 or another amount, tell them. Again, some publicists are flexible and will work with you in the beginning stages, especially if they believe in what you're doing, which takes us back to how important it is to have all of your marketing material above par. I mean, it's got to be top-notch and professional. Finding and choosing a publicist. A lot of this is kind of I don't want to say common sense, but it's the basic, of course you want to go by referral or word of mouth. if if you have friends that are in the business that have publicists, you might want to reach out and ask them who their publicist is. Now, one interesting point that I saw in this article that I thought was pretty cool, if you have an artist that you're watching or, that you have your eye on and you really like or admire the direction that their career is going in, go to their website and see who their publicist is. And I was mentioning earlier that kind of goes back to, I had a guest artist that came on the show that had a great tip. And she said, if you have someone's CD that you really, really like, and if you want to connect with the people that were involved in the project, well, you look at the credits on the CD and see who they work with and connect with them that way. And I thought that was pretty cool. So again, go to the website and see who they've been working with and see how that's, and connect with them. You can always Google. We can always Google music publicists or and then look in genres like maybe a jazz publicist. If you're into rock, rock publicist, whatever. Go to their website. Again, check to make sure their website is professional and that, that they present themselves in a professional way. Read the company profile and their bio. Check out who their past and present clients are. Read press releases that they've written and see how active they are on social media. So again, these are things that you probably already know. Sometimes we already know these things, but we don't really pay attention because it's kind of like in the back of our minds. Let's see. And I will post this on my Indie Voice page. I'm not going to read the whole entire article. And Ali has walked in, so we're going to have her join us in a second. Hey! So what is your expectation? So when you hiring, and it says here, hiring a publicist does not guarantee media coverage, no matter how good the music is or how much you have going on. But there are many factors that go beyond anyone's control that determines what media will cover. And I kind of want to talk to Ali a little bit more about that because earlier in this article, it talked about how they establish relationships and they already know, throughout the years, they've established contacts in the business. And that contact is reciprocal. I mean, there's a trust going on. If they trust your insight and trust that you are going to represent top high quality people, well, why wouldn't there be some sort of guarantee that you could have some coverage? So kind of want to talk a little bit more about that, because that kind of, I had to highlight that because that didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Let's see. Again, and an ideal plan is to start with a 6 to 8 week, like if you're working on a CD release. So 6 to 8 weeks before your CD release or your first tour date, you want to connect with them and kind of strategize and figure out how you're going to take your career to the next level, because it doesn't happen overnight. This is something that happens over time, and you have to, again, be very strategic. And you both have to be in a line with what your expectation is of them and what they can do for you to help you meet your goal. So that's very important. And we're going to fill some gaps and, again, discuss this a little further with Ali. So what we're going to do is take a quick commercial break, and I will invite Ali to come up and join us, and we will be back in a second. and we have Allie Opio here. Yay! Welcome,
Hi.
Allie.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. And I, you know what? I was thinking when I was coming here that I forgot about the march. I don't know how I could have forgotten about it because they've
was
been talking
crazy.
about
Great
it.
cause. The kids were energetic, but traffic was crazy.
Yes, I heard they've had some superstars like
It was wonderful.
Really?
It was wonderful. Wonderfully produced, impactful. Great job.
wow.
They did a great job.
Okay.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
it's over now, right?
It's over.
Okay. I did see some people walking, but
But an estimated 500,000 people were in the district.
wow.
So yes, a lot of people that
Okay.
came out.
Well, I hope that that something comes of this because
it
this.
has to. It has to.
Oh my God, this is
it's
just
needed.
horrible.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's horrible.
So, Allie, I was, as I was saying when you came in, I thought it would be interesting because even for myself, there's a gray area in actually what the role of a publicist is. So I thought it would be pretty interesting to just kind of go over this article. And I'm sure there's some things that you may agree or disagree or even contribute to the article. And we'll go over some things. And I incorporated some of the questions that I'll ask later in the interview. In a few minutes. But first, let's kind of talk about who you are and what you've done and and you'll answer how this publicist life has come to be.
Sure.
So we've got a Howard graduate in the house.
You? So you went to Hampton?
Yes.
I won't hold it against you, but I won't hold it against you. But we are the real HU in the building. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Ali graduated from Howard from the School of Communications, majored in broadcast journalism, minored in political science. While you attended Howard, you interned with Fox News Channel Cable Network and was a writer for the award-winning Howard University newspaper, The Hilltop.
Yep.
After graduating from Howard, worked as a general assignment reporter for the Washington Afro newspaper in Washington, D.C. While working with Afro, you had the pleasure of interviewing influential figures and politicians, including the amazing President Barack Obama when he was a senator.
He was a senator at the time.
Oh,
yes.
my God.
Yes.
But still, his presence
Very
alone.
nice. Very, very nice guy. Very, very nice.
Oh, wow. Okay, and as a reporter, you were tired of reading horribly written press releases and pitches by publicists who solicited her to cover their clients. This prompted her to, in 2007, making the bold decision to start her own public relations firm.
Yes.
You felt you could do much better, and so you've been doing it much better for over 8 years. The birth of her business, Dynamic Public Relations, has opened so many professional and personal doors. Did I read this wrong? The birth of her business, Dynamic Public Relations, has opened so many professional and personal doors. Sorry about that for Ali. The clientele base of Dynamic Public Relations is very diverse and includes, it's a laundry list of
organizations,
agencies, organizations.
that have retained me over the years.
Yes, and I see you have an artist here, this
Yes.
musical prodigy.
Yes, Eli.
Yes.
www.elimusicnow.com. Check him out. He is phenomenal. He plays 4 instruments, including his voice, the guitar,
goodness.
the drums, the piano. He writes his own music. He is phenomenal. Eli is the next big thing.
Okay. And how
And I
long
have
have you been working with him?
About a year now. About a year. About a year. Pleasure to work with him and his family.
Can we have a little bit of music, please? Just a little something. Okay. And so I'm going to get right into. So I see that you started your company based on, you saw a need that had to be filled, and so you took the bull by the horns and started your own company. Why? Okay, so first let's talk about the difference. I need clarification myself. The difference between a manager and a publicist.
Well, the roles of both overlap. Typically, as a publicist, I am retained to secure media opportunities, interviews, media opportunities on behalf of my client, whereas a manager is responsible for securing paid gigs, so to speak, or monetary engagements on behalf of their client. So it's the duties are somehow they're interchangeable and sometimes overlap. but I'm not a manager. I don't manage people's careers. I just create opportunities on their behalf.
Okay.
Particularly ones in terms of interviews and media opportunities, etc.
Okay. So what is it?
Write the press releases, the media advisories, create relationships, or utilize my established press relationships and media relationships on behalf of my client to place him in a more magnified light, both within the market that we're in and beyond.
Okay. Wow. So, as an artist, and you're selective in who you represent, correct?
Def have to be.
So,
because my clients have to be a reflection of who I am and the reputation that I have.
Right.
I'm celebrating 10 years now, over 10 years. So, and people know what to expect from dynamic public relations. My delivery is very consistent. And you mentioned something earlier in the article that a publicists say, or some say, media opportunities and interviews aren't guaranteed.
Right.
I can't take your money if
Right.
I can't get you interviews.
right. And that didn't make sense. I was like,
that's
that ain't
ridiculous.
right.
And
Right.
if anybody, warning out there, what camera should I look at? This right here? Thank you. Public service announcement, okay?
Yes.
First of all, when you retain a publicist, they shouldn't have business hours. So, okay, they shouldn't tell you from 9 to 5. They should be available to you damn near 24/7. People pay me for that access, and I charge accordingly.
Okay.
Okay?
Don't get it twisted. That's right.
It's 10 years here. I got a mortgage to pay.
Right.
Kid going to college next year. Not a game.
Right.
However, time is of the essence. An opportunity can bypass my client because I didn't answer the phone or I didn't respond to that email because I had business hours.
Right.
That's unacceptable. Anyone tells you that, you need to run straight for the hills, okay?
That's a good point.
Secondly, someone tells you, well, I can't guarantee, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to try. No, you should already have an arsenal of contacts and relationships already. So I know when someone retains me, I have at least 3 or 4 people that I am going to pitch them to who more than likely are going to cover them. If I feel I can't do anything for you, I'm not going to take your money. And especially within this area, no shade to anybody, but after 10 years, I've seen and heard a lot.
I'm sure.
There are publicists in this area who practice under the principle of mediocrity. So when people retain me, when people meet me, it's refreshing because they're not used to someone who is aggressive, who no matter 24/7, no matter where I am, hey, my client this, hey, my client that, hey, that's what I am. I'm repping you 24/7 in my sleep, when I'm in the club, when I'm at the restaurant, wherever I am. This is who I'm working with, and I think you should align yourself with that person that happens to be my client. And so you want someone who is going to be aggressive on your behalf,
Right.
Because having a publicist, it's a non-essential need. It's a novelty to some.
Right.
So if you're paying for a novelty, you need to get your money's worth.
Right. Well, it's interesting because in the article, and again, it's opinion, but it depends too on how far you want to take your career. If you want to take it to the next level, you have to almost consider it as a part of
As an investment.
Yes, it's an investment. Like you invest in putting your CD project together.
Exactly.
The monies that you spend, the instruments, etc. Then this should be a part of your budget.
I agree. I concur.
So,
But it just really irks me when I meet people who have had bad experiences with publicists. They've been traumatized, and they meet me and they know that I'm good, but they're still very hesitant to engage because of their horrible experiences. So I have had to counsel people, so to speak, through the process of embracing having a publicist, a PR rep on their team again. Because there are a lot of folks out there, stop taking people's money when you can't even write a press release.
Right.
You can't even write it. You can't even accurately and concisely pitch your clients to media entities. Stop taking people's money out here. It's not fair.
Right.
Because they're coming to me after you've done all kinds of mess to them. Not cool.
Damaged.
Not cool.
So now you got.
And then some people, what happens is, and I decline servicing those clients. But what happens is they paid this person X amount of money. They've been burned. They come to me. They say, "Hey, you're good. You came highly recommended. Can you cut me a break?"
Right.
Now, I sincerely apologize on behalf of the mediocre publicist for the job they did.
Right.
But then why should I, quote unquote, suffer?
Right.
Monetarily. It's not fair to me.
Right.
I empathize with your situation, but when you're able to retain me properly, we can have this discussion again.
So now, is there, and I don't want to talk about rates or anything,
Sure.
but when it comes to, so if an artist comes to you with a budget, so do you tailor like a plan around their budget, and then you kind of just work out, as it grows and as the relationship develops, then you act accordingly, or is it just one flat rate coming in the door?
Well, I mean, there's a minimum that I charge when working with anyone. There's the bare minimum. And I start at that base, and then I go from there.
Okay. So what do artists need to have in hand? That was the beginning of the article, talked about how you have to, I guess during the consultation phase, what have you been doing? How have you been marketing yourself? Are you performing locally? Do you have
a website? Do you have professional pictures? Do you have a bio? You don't have a bio? Okay, I can compose one. So basic things like that. I need the basics. I need the foundation to build the house from.
Right.
If there's no foundation, then we have to start from that point, and that's fine. But just understand it's going to be more of an investment. To get the headshots, to get your website up, to put content together, to get your social media platforms looking like something. All of these things have to align themselves in order for me as a publicist to properly execute my job on your behalf.
Right. So is there in terms of artists that are interested in gigging outside of the DC metropolitan area, is that something that, so if their plan or goal is, say they have a CD that they're going to release and they want to do like maybe an East Coast tour, and they come to you and say, okay, Ali, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? Do you have connections with outside of the DC metropolitan area?
In terms of getting them press coverage to advertise, to provide publicity for their tour, yes. But in terms of securing those gigs, I do not.
Right.
That's where
That's
their
the
manager
Right.
would come into play. Exactly.
Okay.
So I would be the one to get them interviews on radio, TV, blogs, etc. Providing that publicity component to their tour. Meanwhile, their manager would actually secure the dates.
Okay.
And the venues.
Okay.
Etc.
Okay. So, and I noticed that your clientele is very diverse.
Yes.
So typically, and again, I apologize if I seem naive, because
No, not at all.
There's a lot I don't know about publicists. Are there some publicists that specialize in certain fields, or does it matter? Like,
There's most publicists specialize. They're either entertainment publicists. They either work with nonprofits. They have a niche,
right,
so to speak. That is correct. I tend to work with nonprofits.
Okay.
Eli was my first music client, and I've now, because of the work that I've done with him, another music client retained me recently.
Okay.
Because they loved the job that I've been doing with him. But typically for years, I was the nonprofit publicist.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get Eli on the show.
Oh, definitely. Eli is fantastic. I mean, he's a joy. Parents are doing a great job, and that's key. Because I've told his mom, I said, hey, if you guys weren't doing a great job raising him, I wouldn't want to be bothered.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be bothered. But he's such a joy to be around. He's so talented. He's so grounded. And the fact that I am on his team, I'm honored. I sincerely am. So when retaining a publicist, the first thing is, do you like them? Can you relate with them? I'm a very black and white person. I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't need to hear. My delivery may be harsh at times, but it's in your own best interest.
Right.
Never insult you. No. But when looking at the bigger picture and making sure that you're the best you can be as my client, I have to relay that accordingly.
Right.
So I think the key is seeing if your personalities are going to gel. But also, as you mentioned, excellent points. Go on their website, go on their social media. Ask people, get referrals. I just had a client just recently retain me, and she wanted a list of referrals. She found me on LinkedIn. So she hadn't even seen my social media for my business. She she saw my profile on LinkedIn and was impressed. And with my references, she retained me.
Okay.
So again, it's the key is look for consistency. And especially within the DC metropolitan area, it's small.
It is.
So everyone pretty much, there's literally 6 degrees of separation. So there's someone who knows someone who knows someone.
Right.
So if you're out there doing craziness, it's going to come back to you professionally.
Yes.
But if you're out there doing stellar work on behalf of your clients, you'll be rewarded accordingly. And I feel that I'm at that point in my career, and I'm very blessed. But I will not take your money if I cannot do anything. I just won't do it.
Right.
I just won't do it. I just won't do it.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We've kind of switched things up a little bit. I want to do can we do the Have You Heard? We want to do the Have You Heard segment. There's a young lady by the name of Satoria she just recently moved to Baltimore that released a music video a couple of weeks ago. So I have a segment called Have You Heard, and it's because this is a visual show, I like to try to show videos.
Wonderful.
And
can't wait to see it.
yes,
Man,
and so and people come to me and say, well, have you heard of so-and-so or this person, that person? And so when I saw this video, I really liked the quality of the work. And I think I like the song. It's a cute song. Very nice. So we go.
Very nice.
And my friends produced it. I don't know if I can't see you, Kurt, if you're on Facebook Live, but Kurt Hoffler produced it, and Tony Blunt did the writing of. He wrote the song. So check it out, Satoria, and the song is called "Say My Name." Check it out. Yes.
You know we should have discussed that deal before you made that decision, right?
I made the best decision for the company.
We both established this company together.
But I'm the boss. And don't you ever forget it.
PM, message in my DM. You said you just got out of work. You really wanna slide through, and I know I wanna see you. Damn right. Vegas on, boy, showing stilettos to the ceiling. Pandora set to Jodeci. Boy, you gotta hit the fast lane, 'cause my body's in a frenzy. Ooh, when you get here, better say my name. Say my name. Better say my name. Don't wanna hear no back talk excuses. Just lay back, let's do this. I'm taking full control. Just better say my name. Better say what's my name? You flex out them streets, boy, but when you hit these sheets, no, tonight I'm gon' keep it trill. I'm just in that boss mode, and you're gonna like how this goes down. I appreciate the way you hold it down when G's do, so you know I'm gon' treat you right. Just wanna hear you say my name. Ooh, so when you get here, say my name. You better say my name. Better say my name. Don't wanna hear no back talk excuses. Just lay back, let's do this. Tonight I'm in full control. Just say I'ma give it up 'cause I want to, and I never take it back 'cause I want you. We can do it, chop and screw it like it's new, or take our time, bump the ground like the old school. Let you beat it up in the Cadillac, 'cause
Joy. And we're back. Again, that was Satoria. Shout out to Kurt Hoffler, Tony Blunt. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, great video.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very nice.
And again,
very
that
professional.
speaks to, yes, very professional.
Very
I was just saying, you know, some people do these videos on the phone and be like, okay, that's my video.
Negative.
You see me, but yeah, it's not the best representation. So, yeah, you want to make sure that you promote yourself in the best light at all times. So now, again, all right, I'm Wendy Hicks, the artist, and I'm coming in and I'm like, okay, Allie, I need help. So I've got my website, I've got my pictures. I've been doing this for a really, really long time. I've got over 25 years in the business. I don't want showing by my age, but no, actually probably more like 30 plus years in the business. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what my next steps are. What next? I have a CD project that's coming out in the summer. What can you do for me?
My first question would be, do you have a manager who's going to secure dates for you, performances?
No, not yet. So
then I would advise you to get a manager.
Manager first before. Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
Because I'm not interested in taking on that role.
So it's
personally.
is it also important to have that you have a good relationship with management as well? Yeah.
Have to.
Okay.
It's just not going to work any other way. Mm-hmm. You know, there has to be a synergy between the publicist, manager, and artist.
Okay.
And you guys have to be on one accord.
Okay.
In terms of the ultimate goal, getting that artist where they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I got my manager in tow. We're coming to Ali's office. We're all sitting down at the table. What is it? What do I need? What do you need from me, Ali? What do you need from me, and what can you do for me moving forward?
Well, so I would ask you a very simple question. As an artist, what do you want people to know about you?
Okay.
Especially given the current climate of music.
Absolutely.
Where do you fit in? Mm-hmm. And that question, the answer to that question would determine my direction as a publicist and what opportunities that I would create for you on your behalf.
Okay. That's good to know too. Mm-hmm. Because aside from the tangibles, you have to know what direction you're trying to go in as an artist.
Because basically what you're saying is I'm going to use that as a GPS to guide me towards getting you the coverage that you need.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Getting you the exposure that you need.
Okay. So let's talk about the opposite side of that, the worst case scenarios. Like you said that there have been people that have contacted you that you just chose to not represent. Mm. What were those cases like? What was it about them that made you decline?
In talking to them, they really didn't have a direction. And it wasn't enough for me to, the information that they were giving to me, it wasn't enough for me to try and build on.
Okay.
I mean, so basically, if you don't know who you are as an artist, and I'm not an artist, I'm not in music, I'm a publicist, you need to be able to articulate that. Okay. And that just wasn't, they weren't able to do that.
Okay. So good to know too. And that speaks to your character as well, because some people will just say, give me the money. You know what I mean? It's like, selling false dreams. Like, I can do this for you. Like you said, some of the worst case scenarios in terms of people that have been tarnished by publicists that say they can do things and can't. So that's good to know.
And really, when people retain me, I don't give guarantees, but I always over deliver. But I rarely say, I'm going to get you 5 interviews, 6 interviews, 7 interviews. I don't do that. I just don't. But everyone who has ever retained me, they have been quite satisfied with my work.
Okay.
And something else I want to talk about in terms of what media outlets are looking from publicists and press releases and things of that nature is they get hundreds of media advisories and press releases on their desk. So within the first paragraph of a press release, it has to have the who, what, where, when, how, and why within the first 4 sentences. if you're not able to, as a publicist, write in that fashion, you failed your client. That press release is an epic fail. I have to pat myself on the back, having been a writer for a newspaper and having that journalistic foundation that enabled me to know what the media wants, what language they speak, how they want information disseminated to them, because I was once a writer and I knew what I was looking for. I was responsible for 6 to 7 articles a week, so I didn't have time to read through stuff and have a lot of questions. I needed to get the bare bones of the situation, quote unquote,
right,
and then call you for additional information and to engage you more to flesh out my article. But it's very clear to be clear and concise.
Thank
Other
you,
than that, it's just not. It's an epic fail.
Right. Okay. It was a question that I was thinking. I need to start writing this stuff down as you're talking, because it was a really good point.
And another thing, I don't mean to interrupt. Another thing, as a publicist, when people retain me, I prepare them for interviews. I prepare them for media opportunities by, one, giving them an overview of the media outlet, so they know the tone of the host, how they're going to ask them questions. I even do mock interviews.
Oh, that's good.
Because, again, most of the media outlets that I pitch to my clients, I've known these people for a long time, personally and professionally. So I know how they're going to ask them a question. I know how they should sit. I know what the tone of the interview is going to be. And it never fails. So that's key. And there are a lot of publicists that, unfortunately, they're unable to prepare their clients for interviews. You would think that that's what a publicist does.
Right.
But again, what I have encountered over the years is that no.
That's something I hadn't even thought of.
That's key. It is being able to prepare your client for an interview. Knowing where their weaknesses are and where their strengths are. And whatever weaknesses they have, it's my job with my client to work them out.
So in terms of the relationship, the amount of time, and I know that there are probably some people that you've had as clients for years. Are there ever cases where people want to hire you for specific events?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. Yes. I mean, my scope of work is mixed.
Okay.
With doing PR for events and then having long-term clients where we're building, we have that relationship and we're building accordingly. So it's a mixture of both, and I excel in both areas.
Okay. All right. I like that.
And things that I don't mean to come off as being cocky or confident, but I've been doing this for 10 years. And so, again, dynamic public relations, when you hear my name, Allie, you know what you're going to expect. So if you're going to retain someone and they're telling you, well, I'm going to try, and their energy, they're very unsure of themselves.
Right.
Of course, I'm not going to give you a couple $1,000s per month. For what?
Right.
No. I mean, it's a no-brainer here. I mean, it's not a game out here. Like, can you do the job? But you'd be surprised. You would definitely be surprised.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But I love what I do, and when I get my clients opportunities, and it's like scoring a touchdown. It's like it just feels great to be that conduit, if you will, that's getting my client to the next level, getting my client that exposure. So I have a love for what I do, and I've been blessed.
Now, this question just came to me. Now, let's look at, we know that technology has changed tremendously, and it has changed the direction of music and the music business.
Right.
And now we're in this whole do-it-yourself we kind of talked about this during the break. We're in this whole do-it-yourself kind of thing where everybody wants to do it all on their own. In terms of, and within the 10-year span that you've been in business, have you noticed a decline because of that? Well, I know you said that you haven't represented many artists.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I haven't noticed a decline in clients who have retained me, because there are some people who the media public relations aspect is overwhelming to them. And those are the people who retain me.
Right.
Or people who have done it, they've attempted, and their level of engagement has hit a plateau. And that's where they feel the need to incorporate a publicist, because they've done it themselves and they've gotten, moderate success, but they recognize that they need to align themselves with a reputable agency, a reputable entity that people trust and respect. And that happens to be me, for example.
So is most of your business like word of mouth, or
actually, I would say up until about 2 years, it was word of mouth. My website's only 2 years old. So yeah, it's been a lot of word of mouth.
Okay.
A lot of word of mouth.
So tell people, what is your website?
Sure. It's www.dynamicpublicrelations.com. You can also reach me at email, Alee@dynamicpublicrelations.net. That's ALEE at dynamicpublicrelations.net. Okay.
All right. Let's see. If there is any advice that you would like to give imparting to, I'll speak to the artists that are watching. If there's any advice one piece of advice that you would like to give to them watching, what would that be in terms of taking their career to the next level?
Sit down, and before you engage anyone, whether it be a publicist or a manager, write a plan, a focus plan as to where you are now and where you want to be, let's say 2 years from now. And then from there, piece together who you feel is necessary to help you to get to that level. But you have to have, for me, I'm very visual, and so I write things out, and once as I accomplish them, I cross them out. It's the same thing with an artist. You know the genre of music that you're in, you know what your passion is, and you know where you want to be. So you have to have a roadmap to get there.
Right. And
so seeing that visually is the first step to your dream of success as an artist coming to fruition.
That's great advice. Well, gosh, thank you so much. I really
appreciate
appreciate you coming to the show.
Thank you.
And again, I can't wait to meet your artist.
Yes.
We'll definitely set that up and have him come on the show. So we're going to do the Set Your Mind, Set Your Week. The quote for today, it's let your hunger for success drown out the voice in your head that keeps telling you to quit. And this is by Unknown. And the takeaway from that is people have a varied definition of the meaning of success. Some people think a level of success is defined by money, fame or fortune. Success to me is setting goals and reaching those goals. Career-wise, it means sustaining a living doing what you were born to do, living in your purpose. When that voice in your head tells you to quit because you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, small enough, pretty enough, you're afraid, this is a waste of time, it's too late, you're too old, replace that negativity with positive affirmation. Tell yourself this is a gift that is uniquely mine. No other person can do whatever this is like me. I have a purpose, and it is my right and destiny to live in my purpose. Keep pushing forward and continue to move in your destiny. So again, I thank you guys for watching, and make sure you tune in next week. We have Karen Lynette in the house. Karen will be joining us. She's got 2 singles, and I'm hoping that I can get her to sing both of them. That would be nice. That would be a treat. But so yes, we're gonna have her on the show. Make sure you guys tune in, spread the word, bring friends back next week.
Wonderful.
And again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
My life is a gift from you, blessed from heaven, that's sure. So every day I give thanks to you. I haven't perfect, that's okay, and you still show love my way. Yeah. Please don't stay, 'cause I know the sun doesn't shine, the rain doesn't fall, and there would be a twinkling little star. And just like winter, spring, and summer, fall, I can always count on you, because you've always been around. never leave, because you know my destiny. So I believe. Every day my faith is stronger, knowing that I ain't alone. Sometimes life is a little hard. Hey, your times are tough, so hard to bear. I get sometimes you really don't care. But when I open my eyes and look out that window and see that the sun doesn't shine, and the rain doesn't fall, and there will be a twinkle little star, yeah. And just when we have winter, spring, and summer fall, I can always count on you, 'cause you never let me down. You always been around, yeah. My trust for you will never leave. It will never leave. 'Cause you know my destiny. I know if I believe. I know if I believe. Yeah. I can do anything if I believe. I know if I believe.
I don't know what tomorrow is going to be for me, but today I can thank God for my life.